This is Andrew Vorderbrugge with podcast number 2 about integrating technology into your research project. In the big picture, you want to keep your research project focused on your topic and its legacy. And you can use technology to help you keep the focus on the topic and its legacy without having to bring in a whole lot of extraneous text. Technology can replace large quantities of backstory, biography, and chronology, and I'm going to offer some ideas about how to do that. Instead of explaining, for example, how an LED lamp works in your project with several paragraphs of text, you can provide a link to a website that explains how an LED lamp works and probably will do it 10 times better than you can do it. You can use images that are directly relevant to your topic. Now, anybody can do a research project on Henrik Ibsen and go find an image of Henrik Ibsen himself, a headshot, and put it in your project. That's fine, but it's not accomplishing much. It's not advancing your argument you're making. Ideally, you want to use images that advance your argument. Let me give you an example. You could present an image that shows Adolf Appia's use of backlighting in his scenic design. And then you could describe how that specific image that you've brought into your project illuminates the ideas you're trying to explain in your text of your project. You can incorporate video or audio clips with the same intention as with images, the same idea. Use them to illuminate a point you're making about your topic and use the video clip or the audio clip as evidence to explain what you're talking about. For example, you might want to have a video or audio clip that provides a concrete example of an actor doing something specific with the quality of their voice, or stylized makeup, or fragmented scenery in a scenic design from the expressionistic period to show what that is specifically that you're talking about. Remember that when you're importing images or video or audio clips, you need to cite the source of that evidence. Yes, it's easy to provide information about what the image is, like headshot of Henrik Ibsen, but you also need to indicate where you got that image from. You need to provide the source. Other kinds of technology that you can use is you can create a timeline diagram to encapsulate visually a chronological progression. Use this kind of digitally created chart to make your point about the succession of events that have to do with your topic. You can insert diagrams to organize a cluster of theoretical ideas into relationship. For example, you could create a diagram that maps out the working process of an actor training program or a design system. Another way to use diagrams would to include the importation of ground plans or front elevations if you're talking about theater architecture, for example, or something to do with the visual look of productions that a designer or a director or producer might have been recognized as an innovator about. You can also create a chart to compare elements of your topic to contemporary ideas or practices, or compare your topic to previous practices in the theater. For example, you could compare the rehearsal process that Stanislavski used at the Moscow Art Theater and compare it to rehearsal processes in Russian theater 20 years before he created the Moscow Art Theater. In other words, here's what Stanislavski was concerned about reforming, and here's the rehearsal process that he developed as a method of reform. and showing how they differ from each other by lining them up in a chart or diagram. So I hope these are useful ideas to you about how to use technology to enhance your research project, and also to use technology to help advance the argument you're making with the text of your project. Thank you.